Spirit in me. I feel the Spirit in me. I feel the Spirit in me. God's love has taken hold. We got enough love to make things happen. We got enough love to find the magic. We got enough love to open heaven's door. I got the Spirit in me. I feel the Spirit in me. I got the Spirit in me. God's love has taken hold. When Spirit puts us on its wings, there is no turning back. We must follow the journey faithfully with one heart and one breath. I got the Spirit in me. I feel the Spirit in me. I got the Spirit in me. I got the Spirit in me. God's love has taken hold. God love surrounds us all. I got the Spirit in me. I got the Spirit in me. I got the Spirit in me. God's love has taken hold.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Good morning. Thank you so much. So welcome everybody. Good morning. My name is Andrea. Welcome to Hilltop Spiritual Center. We are a thriving, welcoming spiritual community, and welcoming Rev. Angela Geary this morning and Sunny Sampson accompanying her. So grateful to have you both here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So grateful to have everybody here. So I am delighted to be up here to offer some prayer this morning and to kind of just fill in the gaps where they need to go and need to be. So we'll start in this way. Okay, so I invite you all to relax and just arrive here. Your physical body has arrived. Well, let's just relax and take some breaths and feel your seat. You've already found your seat. You have arrived. So feel your feet and your back and your hips, and relax your face and all those parts of yourself on the outer, so that the inner rises forward, so that the inner here and now, here and now, here and now, here and now. We often have a tendency, as you are, some of us like to just immediately close our eyes, and others open and closed, right? Seeing what's around me and feeling what's within me. So we arrive in this moment, and we take this moment to consciously acknowledge this moment. This moment within my own body, within my own beingness. And the presence that I am, so great, so much more than what appears to be. It is the miracle and the miraculous and the beautiful unseen. It is the unseen love. It is the unseen presence that exists in all things, always. And yes, indeed, I welcome our friends from afar in the virtual world who we love so dearly. Whether you're known or unknown to us, it's the heart of love that brings us together. So we settle and we breathe and we expand. So take your consciousness in your mind's eye, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, and imagine that you are a light body, a body filled with light. And it generates from the core of your being, from that heart center, and all around is light. I am that. I am light. And light represents itself as beauty and love and forgiveness and acceptance and allowance and all the aspects of the emotion and our day-to-day beingness. And it is the power of our breath and our light and our mind's eye that we take this moment in consciousness to say, yes, thank you already. How grateful I am, for I am here and now, present. So it is to this divine beingness that I bow, that I sit, and that I be within the heart, within me. And it's to this divine presence as you choose to call this one, this beingness, this all-pervading one light. And so the divine shows up in our hearts, in our life, in the world around us. Know it to be so, that regardless of all appearances, the beloved is there. The beloved that guides my heart, your heart, and our heart. The beloved is always, always and forever within and around me. For I am that, I am that, I am that I am. So with the beautiful music that we will experience and has already begun, the song of our heart shines greater. With the words of truth and the power of the spoken word, our minds expand, our beingness opens up, and we have a revelation of the one truth that exists in all things. So as Rev Angela Geary speaks her words of truth, as Sunny speaks his power into the voice and the song, as I am and we are together, this service is a blessing. Hilltop Spiritual Center is a blessing, a light on the hill, and we are so grateful for all that is here and all that unfolds. And in this knowing, so it is. So we have a reading this morning, and then we'll have a 3-minute silent meditation just to continue on this centering and being present process. The reading goes like this. When we have a sense of our lives as a journey of discovery, we return to a natural rhythm within ourselves. When we travel with reverence, a richer life unfolds before us. And that's by Scott Aubrey and his work, Spiritual Passages. So I just invite you to settle in again and be present in your mind and heart and spirit. We'll go into 3 minutes here. So as we are here and now present again, enjoying some more music.
I thought about trees and how much I'd like to climb one. Thought about friends and how rare it is to find one. Thought about you, the gentle, sweet, and kind one. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. I thought about life and the way that things are going. I thought about love and the pain there is in growing. I thought about you, the one who is all-knowing. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. I thought about you and the songs that I keep singing. I thought about you and the joy that they keep bringing. I thought about you and the joy that they keep bringing. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. Thought about life and the love that has no ending. Thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. Thought about you. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. Thought about life and the way that things keep going. I thought about love and the way things are going. I thought about you, the one who is all-knowing. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. I thought about you and the songs that I keep singing. I thought about you and the joy that they keep bringing. Thought about life and the love that has no ending. I thought about you, Lord. Oh my Lord, you know I thought about you. I thought about you.
I just wanted to thank Steve. Welcome. Rev Angela Geary, please.
Thought about Angela, too.
As long as it was pure thoughts, I'm good with that. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you all and be here again and be together for this experience of spirit. And I know that Reverend Guy last week left us with a quote, "God is hiding in the world, and our job is to let the divine emerge through our deeds," from Rabbi Abraham Herschel. And he talked about not being deceived by appearances, right? To guard our serenity, to change our perception, that what we believe is what we see, that we see things as we are, not necessarily as they are. So we see through our own filters. And so the invitation is to see through the veil, right? To see into the unseen, to have thoughts of spirit, to recognize ourselves as the infinite beings that we are. And so Marianne Williamson has a new book out called The Mystic Jesus, The Mind of Love. And she says it's a sequel to her first book, A Return to Love, that she wrote decades ago now, right? And that whole idea of a returning to love has never lost its importance and its significance. And what better time for her to kind of remind us of that? You know, the teachings of from A Course of Miracles, which is about choosing higher thoughts. And so I wanted to talk a little bit just today about Jesus as the exception. As the example, not the exception, as the mystic that he was. Not about any religion or anything in that. Just as we know, Jesus was a mystic. He was a guru. And he was someone who lived on this earth and had only thoughts of heaven. The Course of Miracles says. And what is heaven but an awareness of our oneness? What is heaven but an awareness and a living in that joy, that peace, that unity, that freedom that we're all born to be? And that evolutionary potential lives within all of us. Because Jesus activated that potential within him. And once it was activated, he could only see through the eyes of love. He could only see through the eyes of forgiveness. He could only see through peace and freedom and trust and faith. And so this is our calling on our journey at this time on our planet, is to make a conscious decision and a willingness to return to love, to have the higher thought. You know, we all know there's a low thought that we can have, a judgment perhaps, a judgment, a resentment, an anger. There's a low thought, and that's not to be made wrong, it's to be noticed. And there's a high thought. I thought about you, dear Spirit, dear God, dear Lord. That's a high thought. I can choose peace today is a high thought. I can choose peace over this is a high thought. So in the midst of the circumstances and conditions and everything that we are dealing with in our own personal lives right now and on the planet, we are called to be the miracle workers. We are called to be the ones that have that shift in perception. The alternative, Course of Miracles calls it, what is it? Presence of the alternative. The presence of the alternative. And, you know, Marianne Williamson talks about a divine intercession from a thought system beyond our own. Divine intercession from the mind of a thought system of the ego, of limitation, of doubt, of fear, of separation. And really what Jesus was a healer of the mind. He lived in that high vibe. So this is from A Course of Miracles. Your greatest power to change the world lives in your power to change your mind about the world. Can we change our mind about the world? Can we see beauty? Not that we deny what's ugly. Can we see with the eyes of beauty, the beauty within us, the beauty within each other, the beauty all around us, the beauty even of this opportunity we are being given to rise into our full potential, to rise into the power of love together. And to trust that Spirit, the divine, has a plan for the healing of the world. Can we trust that right now? No matter what it looks like. The high thought is, I trust Spirit. And the miracle worker is someone who, being in any, no matter what situation we're in, seeing it differently. Taking a stand for our own consciousness, for seeing our oneness, for seeing Spirit in everyone and everything. A miracle is a shift in perception from limited, constricted thinking, because Jesus purified himself of the false belief of separation. He purified himself from fear. He purified himself from the belief in doubt. And that's our job. That's what we're here to do, to continue to purify ourselves so we can see with the eyes of love, so we can see the light in all situations, so that we can move up in our vibration and start operating at that higher frequency of Spirit. Because when we're there, we're aligned with that higher truth. We're aligned with the realm of peace. We're aligned with infinite possibilities. We're aligned with joy and love and peace. And we can generate more. And when we're in our false self, our small ego self, we're constricted and we're limited, and miracles can't happen at that vibration. They can't happen at that vibration. So the world needs a miracle right now. Right? The world needs a miracle. And that miracle starts with each and every one of us lifting ourselves up into the luminosity of Spirit that we're born to be. It means recognizing that our power has the power to change the world. It starts with us changing our mind about it. Can we change our mind about it? Let's take a breath. Course of Miracles calls that rethinking the world. Rethinking the world, to connect to the infinite that was always there, long before we were born. Always has been and always will be. Infinite, divine grace itself, that field of goodness and beauty and truth. And we are that field. We are all merged in that field. Can we put our thoughts there? Can we place our attention there? Can we have faith in that? Another quote from the book is, she says, "You're not the water, you're the faucet." We're not the water, we're the faucet. We're not the electricity. Oh, is that right? We are the lamp, not the electricity. The faucet just opens up. In our willingness to open up, in our willingness to be undefended, in our willingness to have the highest thought, the miracle happens. Once the faucet is open, the water just flows through. Once we are open, Spirit just flows through. No limit. No limit. And it's us that has the valve that can turn off the flow or turn on the flow. So we breathe deeply. We keep realigning our thoughts with Spirit, with oneness, with love, with unity. And in our stillness, in our willingness to perceive all things and all situations with love, then we're open to the infinite. Then the miracle happens. Easily and effortlessly, this happens. And Jesus' story, as you've probably all heard at Easter time or Christmas time from Reverend Guy or other ministers, is of archetypal significance. It's our story. The divine feminine is Mary, the maiden heart, the heart of love that was impregnated with Spirit. And the Christ child was born. That is us. We are impregnated with Spirit. And the Christ child is born within us. It's there. Herod represents the ego that fights that love. The ego that would rather perhaps be right than be in that love and in that oneness and in that joy and in that peace. Jesus' willingness to keep on loving and keep his heart open and keep in that high vibration through his whole journey is a teaching for us. It's our own hero's journey. That no matter what obstacles, no matter what conditions, no matter what circumstances, no matter how scary and eerie and frightening it gets, the hero knows that you got to keep on going. You keep walking. You keep walking. And you move through those obstacles with as much ease and grace and faith and trust, and trusting and knowing that the people and the places and the angels and the beings and all that we need shows up right when we need it. This is our journey. The 3 days between the crucifixion and the resurrection, it's the same symbolism as the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years before they reach the promised land. So the actual time is just a symbol, but it's the time it takes. It's letting us know that transformation takes time, that it takes time for situations to change, but that we keep our faith high. The 3 days in the tomb represent that time where we are just perhaps in the cave, right? The time of grief sometimes, the time of integration, the time perhaps where we're, as Jacob did, wrestling with our angels. And that time, liminal time it's called, is precious, and it's to be honored and to be presenced before the Christ within us, the divine, the spark, the infinite light is fully born within us. There is a time perhaps where we've kind of let go of the old and the new hasn't quite made itself known. That's tomb time. That's the time we're in the tomb and in the cave. And so we love ourselves deeply wherever we are and whatever thoughts we're having. Because this call to love, this return to love, starts with loving ourselves. And loving ourselves wherever we are on the journey. We're not all, well, I'm not. And I think most of us are not always in the high thoughts all the time. We keep returning there. But we resist the temptation to judge ourselves or make ourselves wrong in any way when we're not in the highest. We just come back. It's our willingness to stay open. To say, I can choose peace over this. To say, I can choose love. To say, Spirit, show me, help me, guide me. To find love in this situation and in this place. So when the angels come back and notice and see that Jesus is no longer in the tomb, right? They say, he isn't here. He has risen. All of this is metaphor. He isn't here, he has risen. As we rise above situations and conditions and situations, as our mind resurrects and we return to love, we return to clear thinking. We return to our center, to our highest self. We're not the same person that we were. In fact, we have changed on a molecular level. And that is a miraculous change. That's when we're the miracle worker. The miracle worker within us shows up every time we have a shift in perception. Every time we come back to truth. And we are saved, right, from our limited, constricted thinking. We are saved from the false beliefs, from attacks, from judgments, from holding on, from anything and everything that we do that prevents that light from shining forth. We're in the frequency of miracles and infinite possibilities. See, it all exists already, the solution, the resolution. There's an infinite possibility and pure potentiality. There's a field of grace and love. We just have to open and be in that frequency in order to receive it, in order for it to be able to download through and as us. We're being called. William Blake says, if the lens of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is. Infinite, infinite. Spirit, not bound by time or space. Spirit, not bound by the appearance of separation or challenge. Infinite and free. And really, isn't enlightenment the shift in self-perception from body identification to spirit identification? That's what we're talking about. Those of us that have been in the New Thought, Science of Mind movement for decades know that that's one of the major tenets is, right? That we are spirit. God is all there is. Spirit is all there is. And I am one with spirit. That's it. Can we now rise in to our spirit self like never before and have the thoughts of spirit? And Marianne Williamson says this, the Christ in you can't be crucified. I love that. And she tells a little story actually about that she was at a play that a friend of hers, a sort of a friend of hers was in, and it was a one-woman play. And during that play, the woman kind of made a swipe at her, kind of a nasty sort of remark, and sort of was all adoring to Michael Beckwith and a couple other people. And Marianne got kind of activated by it. You know, like she was, you know, underneath it, she was hurt, but she got kind of angry, and she called the person who wrote the play, and the person who wrote the play said, yeah, I kind of asked her to leave that out, but I would call her if I were you and talk with her. And so Marianne, you know, as we all know, not to act right away when we're charged up, to take some time, to allow the lower thoughts, the very humanness of us, to be in that, but to wait before making a communication until she could be in that higher place. And her affirmation was, you know, the Christ in me can't be crucified. The Christ in me can't be crucified. Spirit in me, in you, in Marianne, can't be touched by anything. And so by the time she did indeed call her friend and talked about it, but from a place of, I felt hurt. It's different energy. It's a returning to love, which doesn't mean we don't speak our truth, which doesn't mean we don't have those sometimes honest, challenging, transparent communications with each other, but it's from a place of love. And the woman heard her and said, you know, I hear you. And she took that part out of the play as the end of the story. But the bottom line is the practice when we're in a little thing with someone or with a group or with anything, can we, rather than keep telling ourselves the story of what they did and what happened and how this and that we are, which is our human self, can we just, our prayer is, I choose love over this. Let me return to love. Let me return to peace. Let me remember that the Christ in me cannot be crucified. Let me be my divine high self through this. And we can hold on to the crucifixion, or we can go straight for enlightenment. It's up to us. I know Reverend Kathy Hearn used to say, you know, how long do you want to stay on the cross on this one, right? 10 years later, here I still am on the cross. Or do we want enlightenment? Do we want to go to the highest? And again, if we can't, we can't. And judging ourselves and making ourselves wrong because we can't get off the cross, we're never going to get off. Because love is maximal only in its effects, the Course of Miracles says. Love is the healer. So if we want to get off the cross and we notice we're on it, love the part that's on the cross. Love that part. Love them. And that part will integrate. That part will come along to take that high road. It just needs love. Can't stress, I think, the importance of radical self-love. It begins there. It begins and ends there. Deep compassion for the self. Let's take a deep breath together. I don't want to say any of that. So I think staying connected to our own stillness, and our own high thoughts, and our own high vibration, amidst the noise of the world, is a vital practice for us all now. No matter what we're dealing with, it's a practice. We keep coming back to it. Our willingness is enough. This is my set point. My set point I keep coming back to is I can choose peace over this. And the Christ in me can't be crucified. Help me to let go. We're present to what's happening within our own thinking, present to what's happening in our own body, mind, heart, and present to what's going on in the outer world and not getting too fooled by appearances. Let's not get fooled. The appearances are very compelling right now. Let's take a breath. They have no power over spirit. Never underestimate the healing power of spirit, the infinite miracle worker. Never underestimate the healing power of love to rise up and cancel out. To keep returning there, not fooled by any of it. The mystics practice keeping what they call an open window. It's like an empty window on a computer. Nothing fills it, no files. The only thing present is the computer's kind of source code, always running silently in the background. Keep your love light on, came to mind, that song. Keep your love light on. So as we go about our daily lives, as we engage with the world, can we keep an open window? Can we keep our love light on? Can that be the background noise or the background buzz that's always happening? No matter what files pop up, no matter what hate mail comes in, no matter the hackers, the scammers, all the stuff that pops up on our computers. Same with us, no matter what. Humming gently beneath it all is our love light, is our willingness to choose love, to choose peace, again and again and again. I'll end with a quote from Kyle Casey. He says, "Boundary yourself from the weight of the physical world to find the boundarylessness," I think that's a word he made up, "of what you are." Boundary yourself from the weight of the physical world to find the boundarylessness of what you are, who we truly are, the one, connected, one heart, one love. Let us pray. I'm already doing it. One heart, one love, one beat. Can we feel it in this room right now? In the stillness, in the silence, in perhaps our hearts and beings that have resonated with some words of truth, that have been moved by Andrea's powerful prayer, that have been soothed and comforted and deepened by the song of Sunny. Can we feel it? Can we feel our love light? Can we feel that still, quiet place within? Spirit is infinite, everywhere, in everyone and everything. In me, in all of us, and in all sentient beings. We return to our oneness as we remember this. We are united and connected in spirit. One, one, one. We may differ in opinions. We may differ in political points of view. We may differ in the way we go about our life. We all have different situations and circumstances. We may differ in what money we make, what job we do, all of that, yet we are one. In that realm of spirit, in that luminous realm of the infinite, none of those details matter. How good it is to know that just by our willingness to turn our love light on, spirit comes flowing in and flowing out of us. And then we are that light. People feel that light out in the world. And as we move up to a higher frequency, the world moves up to a higher frequency. So I put my faith in the power of love. The healing power of love to restore, to renew, to regenerate, to make a way even when it seems like there is no way. How grateful I am for the infinite possibilities that always exist in the field of the divine itself, in that quantum field, not bound by history, by precedent, by space or time. How grateful I am that we can raise our thinking, raise our spirit up into the highest vibration and watch miracles happen, because we are the miracle worker. And I give thanks for knowing that all is already done in the mind of God. There's peace, there's freedom, there's equanimity, there's loving compassion, there's joy. There's a blueprint for a world that lives in those vibrations and frequencies. We just turn the faucet on. We just turn our love light on. We just lift ourselves up into the frequency of that which is already done, so that it can have its way through us, through our communities, through our countries, through our beloved Mother Earth, through the world. And with a grateful heart, I release my word, and I release all of our highest intentions for ourselves, for each other, and for our world, to the very soul of the universe, letting it rest now and letting it be. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Yeah. Kind of made me change the song.
When the winds of changes start to blow, know that you're not alone, and you'll never be forsaken.
Was this collection time? Oh, you were counting? Oh, sorry. Okay. The money man was doing this, or oh well.
God will never let us down. God will never let us down. Never let us down. When the winds of change start to blow, know that you're not alone. You will never be forsaken. God will never let us go. We all must stumble and fall sometimes. Disappointment helps us grow. But we'll never be forsaken. God would never let us go. God will never let us down. God will never let us down. Never let us down. When spirit puts us on its wing, there is no turning back. We must follow this journey faithfully, with one heart and one breath. When the winds of change start to blow, know that we're not alone. We will never be forsaken. God would never, never, never let us go. When Spirit puts us on its wings, there is no turning back. We must follow this journey faithfully with one heart and one breath.
So I want us all to just fold ourselves into this little phrase.
God will never let us down. God will never let us down.
3 more times.
God will never let us down. God will never let us down. God will never let us down. Never let us down. Never let us down.
Thank you so much. It was so beautiful and so inspiring. Thank you so much, Reverend Angela. I think we've all been powerfully moved and powerfully touched. I certainly do feel the Spirit in me. I know you feel the Spirit in you, this love light. Let your love light shine. Practical tools for everyday living and everyday moments, again and again, to remind ourselves that I am one, that I can let my light shine, that it is bigger than I am, and I can go to it. Guidance, acceptance, love, forgiveness. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for experiencing this together, for this congregation where we get lifted up. Yeah. Thank you for being here. So in this consciousness of love, in this consciousness of givenness, in this consciousness of this moment, we give freely. We give freely with our love and our light and our heart and our monetary means. As we can, we do. And when we can give more, we do. And we offer this from our hearts. So as you are giving today, know that this gift is a divine givingness. It has come to us and through us to move the circulation forward. We give freely because that is what abundance is. It's circulating our energy and giving it out freely. We can hold on or let go. So we let go freely, openly, heartfeltly. That is the gift of conscious giving, to get the energy moving. Let it flow. If we want more, give more. If I want love, give love. Let it flow. So we at Hilltop Center and all that is and everything that exists are so grateful for all that you give to this center, all that you give to the ministry of Hilltop, the ministry of all the ministries here. Well, thank you so much for your heart and your givingness. We appreciate it.
So blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so I am so blessed.
That has taken place today and all the moving parts that it took for this manifestation and this beautiful elegance to happen this morning. So we will have some prayer afterwards in the Emerson room and a few minutes after service. And of course there's abundance of food for all of you to enjoy and all of us to kind of be in fellowship together. So thank you for all of that. And with that, we will close the service. Would you like to do a benediction?
Let's take a nice, big, deep, full breath together. And then let it go. Let's do another 2 like that. In. And one more. Just to integrate and ground in, feeling like we dropped in deep. We dropped in deep. And so we can bring that deepness up now into our hearts. We can kind of feel the words and the songs and the prayers just having their way through every cell of our being. We're shining, we're glowing in spirit. So how grateful I am for Hilltop Center for Spiritual Living. How grateful I am for Reverend Guy keeping the vision and holding the high watch. How grateful I am for Andrea and all that she has brought today and brings Sunday after Sunday and day after day. How grateful I am to each and every congregant, each and every member, and each person that shows up in this sacred space. How grateful I am to have the privilege and honor to be here, to feel our oneness. So let's keep our love light on. Let's shine brightly. And so it is. Amen.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, you know the whole world smiles with you. I can't resist. When I sing this for students, I preface it with no smiling. Everybody, I want you to look straight ahead. They don't know what I'm going to play. And then when I play that, so I couldn't resist shouting. And you kind of did the same thing too. So when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, that old sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, ooh, you bring on the rain. Stop your sighing, come on, be happy again. Keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, woo, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Ooh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, we're shining. Look out, world, we're coming. Okay.